she was in fear. One time we were at the mall, my wife and I. At this point we had 4 kids, and there's a little play area in the mall. And so we stopped and let all 4 kids take their shoes off and go play in this little area. My wife and I, we each had drinks and we were watching the kids. And a security guard came up and said, you can't drink your drinks here, you have to walk clear around the play area and sit over on that other side. And so we just didn't even think, we just walked around and we sat on the other side and we were talking, and all of a sudden my wife said, honey, look. And I looked over. My 4 kids, they looked over to find us and we were gone. My 4 daughters had gathered their shoes and they were all huddled in a mass because they thought we left them. I can't even tell you what happened to me. When I saw they believed that, it broke every part of my heart. It killed me inside. And I wanted to grab them and say, what are you thinking? Honey, I would never leave you ever. Why would you believe something like this? And some of you need to hear this because so many of you feel like God's left you, or you feel like he's mad at you, or he's going to abandon you. I can't tell you, when you believe that, what it does to his heart. It's like he wants to grab you and say, look at me. It's never going to happen. Don't even think such a horrible thing. When you take your belief and you link it to something so awful and hideous, it's heartbreaking to him. Have you ever seen a relationship where believe is not in the eyes of each person? It's really kind of a disgusting thing to see, isn't it? When you see a husband who looks at his wife and he has this pale look and there's no belief in his eyes. When I see that, I always think that woman's not going to ever do anything great. When I see a woman and she looks at her husband and there's no belief in her eyes, I think that man will never do anything great. I remember when I first wrote a book, I wrote a book called The Relationship Code. I came walking down the stairs one day and my wife was on the phone and she was talking to somebody. She said, my husband wrote a book and it's going to be the best book in the world. Because she believed in me so much, and I turned right around and marched back upstairs and started on my second book. Her belief in me is what's given a power in me to do anything and everything I've ever done. It's that powerful. We went to dinner with a husband and a wife once, and the woman was talking about her man. She said, my husband's the manager of a restaurant. He's got like 30 or 40 employees, and her husband would say, it's not 30 or 40, it's only like 20. Well, he's in charge of everyone, and he's one of the best managers they've ever had. I'm not the best manager. And he kept putting her down, and I wanted to grab him and say, you fool! She believes in you. Take it in. There's power there. You're a fool not to see that and glean from that power. Women need to see believe in the eyes of their husbands. They need to see that in their husband's eyes. Husbands need to see it in the lives of their eyes, in the eyes of their husband. Listen, when there's believe in the eyes of the spouse, do you know that there are pretty much no rules in your marriage? Now this might surprise you. Do you know that most of my best friends are women? What do you think about that? Most of my best friends in this world are women. I've only got like 2 guys that I'm really good friends with. The rest are all women. I have a podcast radio show that I do twice a week with a woman, not my wife. I'm in a studio alone with this woman for hours and hours every week. I absolutely love this woman, by the way, too. I love her with all my heart. And I'm with her all the time. Most of my friends are women, and my wife never gets jealous, ever. Why? Because as long as she looks into my eyes and sees believe, she knows she's safe. Because there's no adultery in belief. Women who are jealous, they're jealous because they're not seeing believe in the eyes of their husband. They're seeing the absence of belief. and they know they're not safe. Some people have never seen believe in their entire lives. As children, you grew up, you never saw it in your parents' eyes. You've never seen it in your entire life. And I've seen people like this who've never seen it. They don't even know for sure it exists. I tell you it does. It does. It exists. Do you know that if you don't believe in people, you don't believe in God? As much as you believe in people, you believe in God. Your belief in Him will only be as powerful as it is in those you love. We need to believe in people. When I meet people who've never seen believe, they've never seen it. And when they look in my eyes and they see it for the first time, they'll sell their soul for it. Do you know that? I've watched drug addicts get sober because they saw believe in my eyes. It's very powerful. I watched people change their whole world because they met me for 5 minutes and saw believe in my eyes for the first time. No one's ever given it to them. Folks, we need to believe in people. It is, as a Christian, that is one of the most powerful things that you can put in anybody, is to believe in them and to love them. Do you want to know how to commit adultery on God? You take believe and you put it on dead things like money, your job, your looks, your education, your reputation. You take this beautiful thing that was supposed to link you to other hearts and link you to Him, and you put it on dead things. And it's literally committing adultery on Him. Do you understand how devastating that is to Him? It's devastating. It doesn't make Him mad or anything. I'm not trying to say that. It's devastating to Him. When I counsel couples where one of them has committed adultery, if the husband, had a fling with some other woman, and I'll counsel this couple, it's amazing. Always at some point,